US top climate negotiator Brian Deese and China's Vice Premier Zhang Gaoli meeting ahead of US President Obama's visit to Beijing on his way to the G20 Summit. Both nations aim to implement the Paris Climate Accord as soon as possible and tackle emissions from air travel and other sources too. It was Vice Premier Zhang who signed the Paris Climate Accord for China at the United Nations back in April. But the world may not have gotten there had China and the US not joined forces back in November 2014. At a groundbreaking meeting in Beijing, both President Xi and Obama agreed on a joint approach to curbing climate change, and both countries made ambitious pledges. It read, "The United States intends to achieve an economy-wide target of reducing its emissions by 26% to 28% below its 2005 level in 2025, and to make the best efforts to reduce its emissions by 28%. China intends to achieve the peaking of CO2 emissions around 2030 and to make its best efforts to peak early, and intends to increase the share of non-fossil fuels in primary energy consumption to around 20% by 2030. That momentum helped secure the Paris climate deal last year. The two leading greenhouse gas emitters have since signed the agreement and are set to announce implementation. World leaders traveling to Hangzhou are seeing a global push on the issue driven by Beijing and Washington.
Where the greatest emissions are coming from are the three largest emitters, the United States, the European Union, and China. I am extremely encouraged by what those three areas, the European Union has been a leader for years. China's making very bold moves to reduce their carbon emission. And the United States, the President Obama has taken very bold leadership here in this country as well.
For China, the G20 meeting comes as the country is set to roll out an ambitious carbon trading system which aims to apply market forces to cutting emissions. A big push towards clean coal and renewables means China may actually beat its targets. The US too is pushing many initiatives, but has political challenges from politicians who do not recognize the climate change threat. Evidence of that change can be seen everywhere, from the coral in Australia's Great Barrier Reef to the melting Arctic, and perhaps the recent flooding in the US state of Louisiana. And here in Washington, D.C., the temperatures this summer have been breaking records, and that's true globally. 2016 could be another hottest year on record. A reminder that even though the two biggest emitters are the most committed to tackling climate change, it's still a race against time. Nathan King, CCTV, Washington.